So I'll give you guys a little description of the pond. It is getting hot in Vegas, so I am starting to put the umbrellas up full time. Fish look good. May look a little cloudy in the video, but it's not. We've had a lot of wind and we've had a lot of pollen in Vegas. But you could see those guys are 6 feet down there. You could see that bottom drain. So it's actually not, the water's okay. My water's always really good. Again, I can just tell there's a little yellowness to it, a tint. And again, that's nothing harmful for the fish. There's that black one I got. Nothing harmful to the fish. Just a lot of pollen and dust in Vegas. We're in kind of a wind season right now, so it just goes crazy with the wind. We're having wind today. Even you could see that thing is moving a little bit. Feeding the fish, doing a water change. You could see kind of the stuff here that's building up that I need to start getting out. I've been doing a lot of feeding with these guys, a lot. And the reason is because we're already in the 90s and I've got big girls, all females. So we're starting heavy protein already, fruits and stuff. All of them have been doing super good, eating well, no problems. Again, I always talk about separation of wastewater from the good water, which anybody that doesn't do underground piping and bottom drains, in my opinion, is an idiot, because there's no way to separate the two. All these aqua filters and settlement blocks and pumping it up and bringing it in and it's just the worst system ever. Little UV lights in here that, light up the fish. One, you don't want any electronics in the pond, period. If you don't want electricity and water. They don't go together. That's why my lights are right up here, yes, as well as my cameras. You don't want any water. You don't want any lights in the pond. So anybody that tells you otherwise, I think they're idiots. They say it's aesthetically pleasing, but fish are made to look, these koi are made to look down on. So another thing is, I don't put any lights in there, and you have to have bottom drains. I have 4 bottom drains with aeration around it, as well as gravity upflow, that hole that's bringing water up. There's no way to separate wastewater from good water unless you separate it like a toilet. You flush the toilet, new water comes in. See, this is the bottom of all that shit. And I can clean that. Today I'm cleaning this. So I'll open up a pipe, turn a blower. I'll turn the blower on, and now all that's doing is releasing all that shit water, all that bad water into the sewer line. This goes into the top of the food dogs where the water spill is, and then this one goes to my bottom drain, my sewer, just like my toilet does. See all that stuff? There's no way you can keep koi like I do unless you can separate this kind of water. You can clean it, you can filter it, you can UV it, you can do all kinds of stuff. Unless you separate the wastewater, you are not gonna get clear, healthy, thriving koi. I don't care what anybody says. So the ponds, in my opinion, that have rock, liner, one little tube that goes from the top, spills out, grabs it again, it doesn't do anything. Those are the ponds that they drain once a year pressure wash. It's the most stupidest thing. I couldn't imagine draining this pond to pressure wash it and taking all of these animals out. And not only that, stressing them out. So ponds to me, like aquascape ponds, are just the biggest joke in my opinion, because you're not learning water flow, non-static water. You can't just put a pump. I mean, these guys are putting little pumps into a little area of a rock and just pushing it out this way. There's a lot more science to it than just putting a pump this way and moving it that way. Water rates, turnover rates, stagnant waters, water flow, gravity pressure. You don't just, it's like turning a fan on and trying to keep the house cold or the room cold. There's a lot more to it. You can't just push a fan and expect everything to just cool the room down. So right here, you can see a ton of it, a ton of shit water. I'll turn off this pump. I'll close this. And basically, I won't put that cap back on until this water's clear. If I were to put this cap back on, it'd fill it up, put it in, and I'd be getting shit water. There's no way. You can't have healthy koi without separating this system. It's nearly impossible. And anybody that tells you otherwise, in my opinion, is a very novice amateur. You can have great ponds with liners, that's fine, but you can't have great ponds without bottom drains. And I mean the difference between ponds and water gardens. I'm not a fan. Water gardens are beautiful, it's aesthetically pleasing. Not hating anybody that has it. It's people's dreams to own one. Love it. At this level of koi, at my level of koi, we are going for big girls, no rocks, so they can't scratch themselves. If I lose a scale, it costs thousands of dollars. And so we don't want that to happen. That's why there is no rocks in this pond. It's why there is no lily pads in any of this stuff. You could see the algae growing super healthy along the sides of the walls. Like right here. And you could tell it's healthy because it's consistent. It's got a nice consistent base. And if I were to take this and rub my hand, I'm not really gonna lose a lot. You know, it's all pretty much there. It's staying there. So I have a really nice, consistent algae that's growing throughout the entire pond. Overall, the fish are doing good. Big girls are getting bigger, and hopefully the smaller ones will catch up by behavioral traits that because the big girls hopefully will bring them up. Biofilters are running fine. I could probably clean some of the leaves always. Like I said, we've had windy seasons. I could clean all the leaves out of the biofilters. It's all friendly bacteria. This is all waste. Waste, waste, waste. And then I'll show you what this looks like. So we're clearing up. So we're actually getting a little bit better. We're not quite there yet to pull out the to put it in. And actually, look, so it's coming back in. So what I'll do now is I'll close now. I'll open up the bottom. So now it's coming out of the bottom and here. I could also open this, and this is going to put water in here and clean the bottom of those rocks and kind of wash it out. So that's how I pull water out faster into my sewer line, by doing that. I open up that with that cap, open that valve up, that's taking water out of the bottom. Even though they're still meeting at that center point, it's pulling it out faster. If you notice now, see, water's not coming in there anymore. It's pretty much done. Now it's only going to just be coming out towards the bottom drain. And I could feel this, and I could feel water coming out. So we'll close that. We'll close these. And I mean, the water looks okay. Sometimes I throw these worms in there. It's good protein for them. They'll eat it. It's amazing what life can grow because this stuff is really only waste, sand, and water. And it's a good protein for them. Some eat it actually, and then some don't. Some don't even like them. We'll put them in there. And some will grab them, mess around, eat them. It's good protein. It's a natural protein for them. So I'll close this bad boy up. And again, there we go. That looks pretty good. So we'll cap this off. Now that's capped off. No more water will be coming into the sewer. Fill it up. Come into the spill. Now the spill will start turning over. But remember, my bottom drains are still on, so it's a dual system, which means that the pond is still turning over probably 10,000 gallons. Bottom drains are 4, 8, 12, 16, 16,000 gallons. Because remember, the skimmers aren't turning over, neither is the pond. So then I'll come in here, turn this valve on, and now we're getting fresh water that is being sent dechlorinated through that, coming in there, and then that will be fresh water. At the level I have right now, it'd probably take me a couple hours. It's a big pond. So that's kind of the update. These valves are closed because that's the skimmer and there's no water pulling. It's just going to pull air. And we are already back into pulling water into the pond. Into the spill. So that thing will start to trickle off in a few minutes. Water will be coming in there, in the little runway, and then back into the pond. And the fish really like it over there. It's a reverse osmosis system. The water's cooler than the water sitting here and stagnant on the surface, so they tend to enjoy that area more. People talk about making caves and play tunnels for koi. I don't think it's like that. I don't think they're dogs. I know things that they enjoy behavioral are good water conditions and good food and healthy living. But these rock tunnels that people sell you on are tubes that, koi shouldn't be made to hide. They're very docile animals. You can almost train them like dogs to eat out of your hand. So when you start making caves and stuff, and these people tell you, oh, it's a cave for the koi, or to me, I think it's a selling piece of BS, in my opinion. But it'll take a couple hours for these. There's my big Showa, 92 cm from Issa, Sanke, Kikukuru from Kodama, or Koda, I'm sorry. Shirosui from Koda. And overall the pond's doing good. Umbrella's got to go up. And it's starting to get hot here, but we'll update.